Hi, I'm Chris Urquhart, publisher of Natural Awakenings magazine, and I'm here today with Michelle Miles, owner of Down to Earth Yoga in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Michelle is a health and wellness specialist and yoga teacher. We're so glad you could join us today. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you for having me. It's such an honor to be here. Happy we can meet face to face, sort of.
Yeah, I know. I love this virtual technology. So right now, we're all experiencing new schedules. People are maybe stuck at home, a little bit stressed out. From your yoga teacher perspective and with your experience, do you have some ideas of things we can use to maybe de-stress and keep ourselves a little more centered?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, between all the virtual stuff going on and like there's free advice everywhere, but like just really like not overthinking it too much, just like calming yourself down instantly. Anything you can do, sitting at your office chair if you're working at home, whether you're, you know, middle of dishes, freaking out, or you just don't know what to do with yourself, like whatever it is. But just I really wanted to share just a few things that I personally use throughout my day, whether it's breathing or actual physical movement. I'm actually going to show you something that's not quite physical movement, but more of just a restorative position today. So I think for me personally, it starts with breathing. Like, yoga is all about turning inward, we're exploring ourselves, through the self. So just try to be more aware of like, what is going on with us? How are we feeling? Maybe like, why am I feeling this? Just being curious with ourselves instead of, having the anxiety and the frustration and the like, what is going on, in the midst of chaos, just trying to be, just take it down a notch or two, just be present in the actual moment. Like the whole point of like yoga, right, is to be present in the moment. Easier said than done. So for me, I like to always sit in Sukhasana, which is a gentle seat, given this position here. So for people who are just at home and just need to kind of calm down, de-stress, really try to just, bring the nervous system down. And we make ourselves sick, literally, by, the stress and anxiety. So nothing works when we're stressed. So I like to take a gentle seat. And for me personally, if I feel really busy or staticky, I like that word. Staticky is like, I feel like I relate to that well when I'm feeling that way. But staticky, you want to bring everything in, like ground yourself down. So gentle seat, bringing the hands to the knees, or bring them like one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. This just really connects, me personally, I can only speak from that, right? Just connects to, bringing everything down, closing the eyes, like bringing the attention inward. So just, starting to find a comfortable seat and then just bringing the eyes closed. And like that alone, just, cutting off this sense, it automatically forces you to use other senses and they heighten those. So closing the eyes is very important, whether you're sitting, standing, just closing the eyes. And I like to take 3 clearing breaths always. That's in through the nose and it'll be out through the mouth. So that'll vary too. Breathe in through the nose, really, breathing in for a count of 1, 2, or 3. And then as I actually exhale in the mouth first. I'm really like feeling the shoulders go up and down. The next one I like to do is breathing the shoulders up to the ears and engaging them, inhaling and shrugging, holding at the top. And as you exhale, drop them like weights. So like they're really heavy. You sigh at the mouth at the same time. So you might have some like, I always get some weird stuffy, crackling, puffing, happening. But taking those clearing breaths, like shrugging and rolling or shrugging and sinking, inhaling and exhaling. So that kind of clears. That's like where I personally start.
And that's even at your desk too. Since I just did it in an office chair.
Yeah.
Did tension from working on a computer or something? Yeah, it felt really good.
It's just instant. Like your body has no choice but to start listening and relaxing, like clearing the breaths out, right? Like, oh, we have arrived. Here we are. So and then the next one I start after the clearing breaths is just my Ujjayi breathing. It has a funny name, it's a Sanskrit name, but Ujjayi breathing is basically your unique breath rhythm. And it is your calming breath, your healing breath, and your grounding breath. that gives you, it really gives you your self-awareness in whatever you're doing at that moment, whether you're moving in yoga or driving or arguing with a coworker or your kids or whatever it is, or just in complete bliss, like just you can breathe anytime. It's meant to create heat. So personally for me and my injuries, creating that breath with heat, it really helps my body to physically loosen up easier, but it also gives you that internal balance of like awareness. How am I feeling? Taking inventory as you breathe. My like number one thing. Inventory as you breathe. So the Ujjayi breaths, you're basically breathing in and out of the nose, both in and out of the nose, but you're holding at the top of each inhale as long as you can, unless you have like heart issues, you're on blood pressure medication. The hold is not recommended if you know for you're not supposed to be like fluctuating holding breath. But ideally you inhale, let's say for a count of 1, 2, 7, like whatever your count is. It could be 10, it could be 2. Every day is totally different. So, but just inhaling and observing. So you really start, it's like a diaphragmic breathing. So in through the nose. I think about breathing almost as if you have a straw here, like breathe in through the back of your throat. And it's an oceanic breath. You're breathing with sound, it's audible. My kids call it the Darth Vader breath because you sound like Darth Vader. But you start to just breathe and hold. So, and as you exhale out the nose, you're going to keep the lips closed, and it's going to breathe through almost like your chest area. So it's going to come out. I don't know if you can hear that, but sometimes it gets, louder and softer, and you just kind of play with that breath. You play with how far can I inhale and hold, let the breath kind of stir around. You might feel a little bit of pressure in some areas, and then as the breath releases, you physically can feel like the tension just dripping off the body. It's, it's pretty interesting how automatic that is.
I really like your description of breathing in through a straw.
Yes. That is like,
it makes it easier to do.
It takes it from nostril breathing to more in the back of the throat. So your gluteus muscles, if you constrict this back of the throat muscles just a little bit, almost like I think about breathing the top of the tongue, kind of lifting it a little to the top of the back of the throat, and that'll send that sound more through like from here to like here. It's like you're breathing through like this whole, like you'll feel it all through here.
Yeah.
So yeah, the straw helps. I feel like that analogy is like, oh, that makes sense, So, but that's a breath I like to take throughout practice, also to create that heat, that calm. But just sitting, driving, like just how much air can I actually breathe in, and how much oxygen can I get to places that need it. And a lot of emotions can come up. I know for me, like just sitting down and breathing, your hips are unclenching, your shoulders are unclenching, emotions come up that maybe you weren't even aware you had them today. So it can be a vulnerable state for people, but it's so relieving when you allow yourself to arrive there. It's like, a whole new world. So
this could also be considered a type of meditation, because when you're talking about sitting and breathing and then emotions coming up, that's kind of what went off for me was, oh, this is kind of like meditation.
Definitely. It's definitely a place to start. So there's all varies of, different kinds of meditation, but that one, so body scanning, having that body scanning where you're inhaling, imagine the breath kind of going in through the nose, down, back of the neck, like you imagine it touching each place of the body. I personally imagine it like a light, it just like clicks for me. But you just imagine the breath, and as that breath is reaching each area, you just ask yourself, like you take inventory. How is this feeling? With no attachment to how it's feeling, but just ask, how is it feeling? And just being curious. But that type of meditation, the body scanning, that works really well for me. Or like a focal point. You focus on that word or phrase or mantra. Like mine yesterday was contentment. Working on my santosha, that means that's in Sanskrit, your contentment, being content in all things. Way easier said than done, but that was my intention.
Right now, yeah.
Oh, especially right now. Yeah, like how can I be? Am I actually content, like without having to control anything, or they're not knowing. Like the uncertainty right now is so huge for everyone. So just being content. This too shall pass, and it's just a phase. So yeah, any type of meditation, that focal point, like breathing in contentment, breathing in bliss, breathing in whatever it is that you need. And then also exhaling that and like breathing that out, you know, giving that away to the universe or the space you're in, or just like, I don't even know why I'm breathing, you know, just tapping in and trying it. I personally find is like super helpful for everything in life.
So for yoga, you know, maybe when we see people doing yoga, it looks like a twisty pretzel, and we might be thinking,
Right.
yeah, my body's not going there. Yeah. Especially as we age. So do you have some simple, just we're at home, and some just to help de-stress and stretch out some of those stress?
Yeah, because you're exactly right. Like yoga is not about what that shape this person is making with their body. Like it doesn't matter. And some days there's no way you're gonna get into that shape that you got into yesterday or in the future. So one that I personally like instantly can do, you know, laying in bed, best place to do it. Turn around, put your legs up the wall. Here, like this is my space. I like to do my legs up the wall here because I have sensitive heels. So the wall is a little bit too much pressure when I don't have socks on for me. So I actually use my window because it gives me just a softer place to set my feet. But basically what legs up the wall is, I'll show you in a second. It's really good you're elevating your feet above the pelvic floor. You can, like some people use like a bolster, or they'll fold up a blanket and they put that underneath of their tailbone or their sacrum. So you're just lifting the hips up a little bit. As the legs are lifting, that blood flow is reversing. So you're getting blood into, you know, it's reversing, it's coming kind of into the belly more, releasing low back tension. But it's also really good for like, I mean, everything. Your sleep, it helps with insomnia. It helps, you know, with like menstrual cramps for women. It helps with I mean, literally you'll feel instantly like more calm and relaxed. But really for me personally, with that insomnia and stress levels, that automatic, it gives you like it kind of rejuvenates you, a little boost of energy, yet it's relaxing. So your body's able to unwind, like without we're not making any weird shape. We're just laying there like that. So I'll show you real fast. On your bed, if you're at home, you can just flip over, put your legs up the wall. But if you're at home and you find a window or a wall space, I like to get into it facing sideways because it can be really awkward, you know, getting your legs up there. But you face sideways, just kind of lay down and then find, you know, where you can get your legs up. And notice like my heels, you know, they kind of go in on the windowsill, but your hands, I like to open them. For me, opening the hands helps to automatically relax you. Hi. So just laying here and literally allow maybe your eyes to close. You can take those clearing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Or just start that ujjayi breathing that we were talking about. So that position. Legs up the wall.
Back down. So whenever I've done yoga, that's the part I struggle with most would be the hamstrings being tight.
Yes.
Going up the wall, I noticed you have nice flexibility. So do you straight? Can they be knees bent?
I bend them. I personally bend them because my hips will clench. Like my hamstrings, I'm super bendy and flexible, but my hamstrings are naturally extremely tight. Like parallel, they're just always tight. Turn around, they're fine. But I suggest I always just find a comfortable place. Like you can move away from the wall, so there's less of an angle. Just as long as they're elevated. You can even do, like if you have a yoga block, or you don't even really need a yoga block, but you can also do it's called dead bug pose, kind of a morbid name, but it's fun. If you, I don't know, I was that kid that would like balance my arm above my head when I was little. It's basically that same feeling of floating. You're just letting your limbs float. So that one I personally bend my knees for. So you can lay down either just on the ground or with a block. So the block is going to go underneath the sacrum. So not low back, but the sacrum.
So it's going to support the hips. So as your legs come up, notice they just stack them right above my hips. And if you can't get there, you just bend them to where you can relax. And they're just going to float. Like you're literally just stacking your limbs. It looks really weird and funny, but you're just floating here. So it's the same benefit as using the wall. But again, if your hamstrings, you'll just know, like in your body, if you're clenching in any area, in your hips or your hamstring or your belly, or if it just doesn't feel like you can stay there without moving, adjust. You always want to feel like your best self, right? Like, where's my body most receptive in this position? And if that's not for, people, if they don't want to do that, taking that gentle seat. Even I like doing like figure 4 stretch where you just cross your leg over your thigh. You can slide yourself close to your foot and use your hands. Or again, the wall, you take whatever foot would be on the floor. You can do this laying down this way, and you just bring the foot in, or you can rest this foot on the wall and then move your hips further away. But this is really good to open the hips, and that's also a huge place we hold a lot of stress. So if they don't want to, lay down or do that, or if they want a different leg position, just do what feels good. But really getting the legs above the heart and letting that blood flow come down is like life changing, especially because you don't feel like you're doing much. Like less is more in yoga most of the time.
So let's say I tried my legs up in the air, my dead bug, and my figure 4, and it's going pretty good. And maybe I'd like to dip my toe in the water and do an instructor-led class. Are you guys offering options for people that are home right now?
Yes, we've been kind of playing with our schedule and what are we gonna do? What works for people? Because we want to make sure that yoga is accessible for everybody and every body, like every wherever you are in life. So we're trying to set up we have outdoor yoga. There's a grassy area in my neighborhood that we do outdoor yoga. We have to RSVP for Monday, Wednesday evenings at 5:45, Tuesday, Saturday at 10 a.m. And then the virtual classes we're going to try to offer every day. So we'll have those will start next week. We're getting them all set up this week. But those start. We'll have 9 a.m.s Monday, Wednesday, Friday. 6 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturday like a 1 or 1:30. But those, we have a few different ways of virtual yoga. So those you can sign up, and it's through Zoom or MindBody, and it's just donation-based. Everything we're doing is donation-based right now because we are what we are.
It's fun. Cool. You've got no excuses, everybody. Tune in, do some yoga.
It's a healing practice for everyone, and it shouldn't be, you shouldn't be cut off or limited just because of the times right now. So the virtual classes through MindBody are getting set up. Those they can just register for, or if you're just like, I don't know what I'm doing on there, we have Facebook Live, we have Instagram. The Facebook Live, those have been fun. They're just super relaxed. It's not too serious. We try not to take life too serious, but it's all in fun. It's just a little bit of helpful tips if they want to follow along and practice virtually. I would say Facebook Live, Instagram, and check out the Zoom on MindBody. It'll be set up by Monday, or a week from today. So, and I'll post on our socials and stuff too. But a lot of people, that interaction, the outdoor yoga is. It's been a big help for people, and depending on weather, we also can move it right to I have a big giant porch in front of my house, like right by where we do it. So if it's raining, we can just move this way. So there's lots of options in person, lots of space and distancing, thank God. But virtual is always a good option. So if they just need to check it out or call or email, we're always here for feedback, and we also are doing privates as well. And if it's really personal for people. Yoga can be a really big step to take for people, and that's amazing. But offering them, privately from their home or the computer is where we're trying to, make ourselves available so that we can kind of reach anyone and everyone.
That's really great. Being so accommodating. I mean, who knew social distancing yoga was going to be a thing? That is not something we would have predicted. But
I know, and it's just like times are changing. We just got to roll with it, right?
Yes, we do.
Go with it.
Michelle, thank you so much for sharing your tips today. They were really helpful.
Yeah.
I buttons up my headboard in the morning.
I know. Flip over, go for it. Thank you for having me. I love talking to you. You're so full of life and vibrant. I love it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So everyone, if you want to try some yoga with Down to Earth Yoga in Port St. Lucie, be sure and check them out online. The website is dte-yoga.com. So DTE for Down to Earth. And they're located at 1649 Southeast Port St. Lucie Boulevard in beautiful Port St. Lucie, Florida. Or give Michelle a call, 772-224-2444. Thanks again for joining us, Michelle. And everyone,
Thank you. Have a great run.
everyone be well, stay connected.